you always want to work your way from the bottom to the top. So our first placement, we're going to do 3 rows, and each row is going to have 2 wefts. And we're going to sandwich our beads, so the beads are going to be hidden. And I try to go back an inch from the start of the recession. And I come all the way down and swoop around their crown. As a reference. So your very first bead on both sides, so both your corner beads are going to be 1 inch, and then every bead on the interior from that bead are going to be 1/2 inch. Bring it up, almost making like a tease. You want to have good tension on this hair down here, so when you move that bead up, it's not pulling any hair with it. The bead is sliding smoothly up. Bead up, I'm making sure that my hair is staying pulled with tension straight down, and when I pull my bead up, my stop. They're not gonna let me go all the way up. If I kept pushing against that and I close my bead, it's gonna stick out and it's gonna make that hair stick out and I'm not gonna have any room. You want to place your bead up as far as your pliers will go and then slowly close them. You want to be able to flip your bead up and down. That little teeny tiny bit of growth is gonna make it feel more comfortable on your client, that they're not feeling that tension all the time from their bead, but then also we can slide that weft in there easily and their wefts will be able to be moved up and down. I have all of my beads together and I'm flipping them up. Together, and then you separate the 2 little bunny ears and you tie them multiple times to get as many knots as you want, and then you cut it off so you don't have excess thread. Okay, so you start back to your second bead. You can kind of like move it out of your way so you can see, but you go 1 bead back. So your second bead is where you start, and I'll show you why. When you start on the front part of that bead, your needle's going to loop behind the hair that's in your bead and underneath both of your wefts and through your weft. When your needle goes through your extensions, when you see your needle go through, you want it to come out perfectly like even with itself, like, what's the word? Vertical, 90 degrees to the floor. If you go in like this, or if you go in like this, your stitch is going to be crooked, and then it's going to pull the hair in your track and make the hairs like separate, and you don't want them to separate. You want them all to lay smoothly. So we're going to go back behind the first bead and through, making sure that it's completely 90 degrees. And then the hardest part of this process is keeping your thread from tangling with your hair. So you want to just work really smoothly and slowly. And once you get almost all the way pulled through here, you're going to separate this thread into 2 sections. Just for this one knot. This is the only time you're going to do this. So you separate it, and then your needle goes through this. You see how that hair wants to tangle up? If I'm moving slow, I can just get it out of my way. So when you slowly pull this, your knot is going to stay at the top of your thread, and you're pulling just as snug as you can. And then you're going to move this way, and you're going to lock in that first bead, and then you're going to move all the way around, and then you're going to come back 1 bead on the end row. So both ends are double threaded, if that makes sense. You've passed both beads twice.